Hello, I'm Angela McCrovitz on behalf of the Culinary Institute of Charleston for PostandCourier.com. I realized as a young child that not everyone in my neighborhood celebrated the same traditions and ate the same foods. And that was a shock because I thought everyone on my block made cheese for their Easter baskets like my grandmother made. And I'm always interested in finding a dish that is not only seasonally relevant, but can be used all year round, and regardless of your nationality, your religious denomination, it's enjoyed by all. Today we're going to make zucchini potato latkes for Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is shred our potatoes, and there's a couple of ways we can do this. We can use a traditional box grater with the coarsest end. And that is what your potato would look like. It's also very wet, and one of the key things to remember in a latke is to make sure that all of your ingredients are as dry as possible in terms of your vegetables, your potatoes, your zucchini, your carrot, before we put in the egg and everything else that's going to bind this together. The other option is to use this grater, and I'm sure you can find this in your local cooking store. Not really sure what it's called, but I love the fact that it shreds and takes apart the potato in a more uniform fashion. You can always coarse cut it like that. A couple ways you can get this to dry out. Either squeeze it over your sink, put it between paper towel, put it between a regular towel, but you want it as possibly dry as you can have it. All right, then we're going to add probably shredded zucchini in the same amount, and shredded carrot, some chopped green onion, some kosher salt, some freshly ground black pepper, and we're going to stir that in. This is also the time I like to add a little bit of flour. To this we're going to add just a touch of baking powder, probably about a teaspoon. And this is so that it fluffs up when we put it in the skillet with the oil. I like to add a little bit of sesame oil because sesame oil has a very high melting point. And that way when I'm cooking the latkes in the skillet, I don't overburn each side before I put them in the oven. And that's traditionally what I like to do. I like to just brown both sides of the latke, then finish them off in the oven. That way they're not overly cooked on the outside, but they're perfectly done and warm on the inside. Then to this, we have to have something to bind our latke together. And I use an egg. I'm going to start with an egg yolk and only add the egg white as needed. Then I'm going to take a measuring cup, measure out the size that you want to serve. If you were serving an hors d'oeuvre, you'd use a smaller measuring cup. If this were a side dish, you would use a different measuring cup. And if this were a main entree, so for example, for an hors d'oeuvre, if you wanted to top this with creme fraiche or a little salmon or caviar or something, you'd make it smaller. If this were a side dish, you'd leave it at the appropriate size. And if this were a main dish, by serving it in the morning with a poached egg for breakfast, you'd have a different size as well. I turn those over while they're lightly brown. So what I love about this is it's just so versatile. I mean, literally, you could serve this all year round at any holiday, dress it up. Traditionally, latkes are made with sour cream on top and fresh chives or with applesauce. So I've just taken these out of the hot oven after about 10 minutes of warming up, which actually is a wonderful way that you can make these ahead, pull them out, serve them to your guests. And I'm going to top them with fresh Greek yogurt, a little bit of mint, and a little bit of fresh dill. On behalf of the Culinary Institute of Charleston for PostandCourier.com, thank you for sharing our kitchen today, and we hope to see you soon.